Okay, I'm Kyuhyun, today's student discussion leader. I prepared two topics. The first one is about the LCOE and capacity factor about the renewable energies. First of all, let me introduce about two definitions. The LCOE is the levelized cost of energy, which expresses the total cost of each energy. The capacity factor is simply about how it runs related to. Okay, I will just read it. It is a Lewis ratio about actual electricity about the given period and the is divided by the maximum possible electrical energy output. So this number is how it runs effectively. This capacity factor means. So I found some graphs. This is the LCOE graphs about some renewable energies. And this is the capacity factor of each renewable energies. So the first one is a simple quiz. So what do you think the color means? Each color expresses the renewable energies. The candidates are like this, and I just excluded the biomass and hydro because in this class we didn't talk about this much. So I want to ask you ideas.
I have a question.
Yep.
To calculate capacity factor, how we calculate hour per day? For example, for solar power, only daytime you can generate electricity. But,
yeah.
So when we calculate solar power's capacity factor, we use 24 hours per day or just daytime?
So we use the 24 hours because the capacity factor's meaning is about if the generation process is prolonged for a whole time, it assumes that situation. So you can see if the using this, the solar power's capacity factor might be quite lower than other things. Can you hear that?
Yeah, there are two types of solar power, solar photovoltaic and
Yes.
constraining solar power. So I think these two have a similar factor. So I think these two will be pink and dark gray.
Pink and dark gray.
Yeah.
So what do you think about pink for solar photovoltaic? Maybe this will be covered by the next lecture by Professor. The solar photovoltaic is just a simple solar cell, so probably usually see. And the concentrating solar power is using the mirrors. So we concentrate the solar power into the generating section. Simple, but quite different with the solar photovoltaic system.
I think CSP have a more larger range, so I think dark gray will be CSP and pink will be solar photovoltaic.
So basically, the higher is quite bad because the cost is high in this lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? The pink is solar photovoltaic or the dark gray is solar photovoltaic?
Okay, I will change. Pink is CSP and dark gray is photovoltaic.
Okay, here is Sungyu idea. Any other ideas?
I'll give an idea. I think according to like the lecture, we learned that like wind is cheaper compared to other like gas or coal. But it says that like offshore has a higher price, but levelized cost compared with onshore wind. So maybe the offshore wind is like below onshore. And also solar thermal is more like, I think it's the same as like, can you like switch to the yeah. Solar, is it the same as concentrating solar like solar thermal energy?
Solar thermal is quite different because I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's not exactly the same one.
I guess that like the pink one might be like offshore wind.
Pink one offshore wind.
Yeah.
But there are many
It could
perhaps.
be a yellow one, yeah.
What do you think about the yellow one?
Uh, I'm not sure, but I mean, pink and yellow are both quite high. But it seems like yellow has been, the cost has been reduced
Oh, I just expressed the
after that.
answer.
Oh.
Hidden again.
So as time has been passing, it's become more advanced compared to the technology in 2010. Used to be the highest, but now it's still,
So the yellow one is
I'm indecisive.
I think the yellow one is the solar photovoltaic because it was expensive, like 2019, but now from the research wise, it has widely been researched. So I think the cost can be like lowered down very much. So yeah, the orange one is the so yeah. Okay.
any other ideas?
I think red is geothermal because I think the geothermal temperature of doesn't change in the land on the land. So I think geothermal can operate in 24 hours. So
Yes, you can use this graph too.
yeah, and I think the technology doesn't change. Haven't changed.
For 10
haven't
years?
changed, so the cost to the different one, different graph shows there are no change of cost. So I think red one is geothermal.
Okay, then we have last one, the gray. And we have a conflict with dark gray and orange. Basically, most of them are correct. And the point is, what is the wind color, wind generation color? Okay, I'll let you know. Both gray are about the wind generation, but which one is offshore and what is the onshore?
As I said, the dark one is like offshore because it's like higher energy cost. And like generally speaking, also it takes like, I guess like in the current stage, it might like take more money to implement offshore like, plants. Although like actually offshore wind plants generate more energy. I guess the technology is still like, in development.
So, yep, you guys were quite correct because I exposed the answer before. Might be, yeah, like this. Basically, so as the Agaseo said, the solar electricity generation technology has been improved for these 10 years. So the cost extremely decreased for the last 10 years. And geothermal does not change. And from the capacity factor, you can see that the high capacity factor can be inferred from the geothermal electricity generation. And as Gavin said, the gray and dark gray, the offshore wind turbine is quite expensive for now, so she was right about this. Okay, let's move to the next topic. I just want to ask everyone about the comparison about geothermal energy and solar energy. We are gonna talk about the solar energy in next session by Professor, but the both are quite similar because the geothermal energy uses the thermal energy from the earth, and the solar energy basically uses the radiation and the heat by the sun. So these are quite similar, but have each specific features. So I want to ask about the good points and shortcomings about these electricity generation methods. I want everyone. Okay. Mohammed?
One disadvantage of the solar energy is that when it's the night, we don't have any sun. So we need to store the energy we produce in the day to use it.
Okay. Yeah, just
Also, one of the advantages of solar energy is like the ease of installation. That you can produce solar panel in a factory and just bring in on site and install it quickly. Compared to geothermal energy, where you need to do a well or foraging stuff like that.
yeah, Donggun.
I think solar energy have disadvantage that contamination of the solar substrate, such as dust or people dropping can be problem.
So you mean the contamination can harm the efficiency of the generation?
And move energy efficient.
Uh-huh. Mr. Gupta, do you have any idea about this?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay, I see. Anali, how about you? Is there any idea?
I think maybe for solar energy, since we master it, we know how to make it very efficient and cheap. And maybe for geothermal, it would be much more expensive.
Can add this one.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you are quite correct because the geothermal energy needs some big station for the generation because it uses some pressure pipes to dig down the ground. Is there anyone who wants? Okay, I do.
As we spoke before, it has a large potential of energy generation.
So why do you think like this? Is there any, just your,
Just because to produce growth.
aha, okay. Yeah, good idea. So I want to ask last opinion. Is there opinion?
Maybe geothermal energy is good because it doesn't actually create any harmful emissions. So it could be environmentally friendly.
Okay. Chemicals. And most of the ideas were quite correct for these two technologies. Basically, the geothermal energy is quite stable better than the solar energy. And as Gavin said, it does not emit some harmful chemical emissions are quite lower or even not exist for the geothermal energy for the particular types. And solar energy is quite simple and is easy to install, but it still have some shortcomings about it's only useful at the daylight, and the contamination can decrease the efficiency. Yeah, quite simple, and I think you guys made a good ideas. And these are my references. About this page, maybe you can find some statistics about the renewable energies. I prefer you to visit this site about some graphs or something. Maybe you can use it in further discussion session. Okay, this is what I got for today. Thank you for your volunteer.
So, we have a short break. 3 minutes. So 45.